the low abrasion circuits, do they appear to suit you more than the higher abrasion ones?
Yeah, the issues I've had in some races this year, especially after the summer break, we had circuits like Spa, Suzuka, Malaysia. Those were the places I struggled the most. And yeah, tarmac is a bit rougher. There's longer corners, more high-speed corners where you put a lot more energy through the tires, and in the smooth asphalt you can drive it a little bit differently. So we've seen a bit of a pattern there, and I've seen a clear direction on which kind of things I need to work on in terms of my driving style and how I set up the car in those kind of circuits. So definitely from those races that I struggled, I've learned massively, and I'm confident if I could go back again, I would perform better.
But given the way Lewis's performance has picked up, was there also an element of the car being more orientated towards Lewis, maybe more on the nose than you would have wanted?
I think he's been able sometimes to drive around the tricky bits of the car, and we definitely have been struggling with it.
What are we talking about, the high-speed oversteer? He lives with the rear a bit more?
Basically talking about just oversteer balance, and having to set up the car a little bit in that way. So, but yeah, still he's got so much experience from mechanically this kind of car, and it's been a new machine for me, and still different circuits, discovering the ways I need to set it up, because sometimes we've ended up quite different with the setups.
Could I suggest that, and having known you for a while and the way you drive, that you are very good at living with the front end, with good use of steering input and throttle, and you can live with a bit of understeer, providing you've got the rear planted. Would that be a fair comment?
Yeah, I can definitely live with it, unless it's not extreme, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, we've been.
And that's the direction maybe the team will be going for you next year.
Well, they won't be doing it just for me. They will be doing it just to make the car quicker in all of the circuits for me and Lewis. It's not just for me.
Bit of an issue this year. I suggest also Red Bull, Ferrari running quite high rate compared with you. They do seem to have quite a lot of inherent downforce. You talked about Max already in Mexico and how much downforce he had. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think we have seen a pattern this year that the circuits where we need the maximum downforce, like Monaco, Budapest, same in Mexico, we just can't add anymore. So we basically would lap some, even with more drag. But so yeah, team is definitely working hard on that. I think mechanically our car is still pretty good. Of course, it can always be better, but in terms of pure maximum downforce level, we have work to do.
Effect of the car in front, has it affected the Mercedes, do you think, more than most?
It's difficult to say. For sure it affects a lot, and definitely much more than any years before. Always feel a massive difference with the turbulent air, so I think definitely issue for everyone, but can't say more in detail.
And what do you feel when that happens? Is it just going to understeer?
Just the car becomes unpredictable. It's not only understeer, it's also over grip, because the flow from the front wing, it also has a big impact to the rear downforce, how the air goes to the diffuser. So it's more like a global grip, and the unpredictability, that's the issue, because some corners you still might have the grip, and suddenly you lose it, so you can't really lean on the car.
So what can the fans expect from Valtteri Bottas next year?
Well, I'm personally expecting much better. I've, like I said earlier, I've learned massively this year. From the whole team, from Lewis, from my own struggles. So I believe that if I work hard during the winter, analyze everything, and start a new season now with a team that I know, with a car that I know much better than, because I didn't know it at all this season, so I'm expecting much more.
And qualifying will be critical, though.
It will be, yes. Overtaking is tricky, and Lewis is pretty good qualifier, so yes, I definitely need to work on that.
A few words about Lewis. He is the new world champion.
Yeah, I think, well, first of all,
what you know about him now that you didn't.
Yes, so I always knew he was a good driver, but I never knew how much he actually works, and he works hard. He spends a lot of time with the guys, for sure the race weekends, but even visits the factory quite a bit. And I didn't know him as a person at all, really, and it's only what I've seen outside. And just this year learned that he's actually a very nice guy, and just a normal human being as the rest of us, and good manners and good respect, and doesn't play any games.
And the team as a whole now, with James there, Toto, the feel of the team, the structure?
Yes, definitely. I think this year has been a very good example, because we've had some difficult races, but we've always been able to bounce back, and reliability has been great. So I think as a baseline for this new generation of cars, I think we have a good base car. We can definitely build it from here.